Hey friends, my name is Tash and I welcome you to a new lesson. Emails. We have to write a lot of emails these days. We receive a lot of emails, we send a lot of emails, we read through a lot of emails. However, how effectively do we write emails? It's very, very important. As a professional, you should really write well, because I personally think that what you are or how you are as a person definitely reflects in your writing. So today I'm going to help you with 6 tips to write an effective email. So let's get started. The first one says subject line. Let's see if I have written something like this. Emergency. Okay. Please read urgently. Now, what I think is an emergency, or maybe what I think is urgent, is not necessary that you also think it's urgent. Or if I have to say something like, say important, please read, it's important. But how am I supposed to understand that what I think is important is also important to you? Of course not. This is absolutely wrong. Because nobody is going to look at your email if this is your subject line, because he or she would think that he has more important work to do and he would not want to read this email. Instead of announcing in your subject line that the content of your message is so important, why don't you write an informative subject line? When I say informative, I mean you could write something like maybe emergency, all meetings for tomorrow are rescheduled. And trust me, he or she who is looking at this subject line is definitely going to open this email. You know why? Because if you say all meetings for tomorrow are rescheduled, he would have definitely planned his day tomorrow according to the meetings which are lined up. Yeah, so your subject line in an email is very, very important for the reader or for you to ensure that your email goes read and not unread. Okay. The second one that I want to talk to you about is keep the message focused. Most of the time, people don't have the time, right? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I know so many people who hate to read lengthy messages. Not only messages, whether it's a short text or maybe an email or maybe an email. It's very boring for them. For some people, of course, they definitely are the people who do not even like to read books. So they do not like to read emails, long emails, okay? I will help you with few tips here. Like say introductory, add an introductory line. Okay, let's say your email is about the person not receiving his mail on time, or you are in a customer service and the delivery of a product has not happened, and you always ensure that you write an introductory line mentioning what the entire content or what the entire mail is all about. Okay, so that's about the introductory line. The second one that I would suggest is always number. Use numbering. It is very easy when you use numbers or bullets for the person or for the reader to understand the points and to read them through correctly and not to miss any of them. Okay. The next one says caps. It's it's mandatory in fact to use caps wherever required and small wherever required. If you write in all caps, it's definitely going to look like you don't know how to write. Okay, and if you write all small, you probably look like a lazy teenager who is just writing a mail for the sake of it. Okay, so always keep your caps and small only focused or related to where they're supposed to be. Keep them limited to where they're supposed to be. And over here the next point is short message. Okay, Always ensure that your messages are short. Write in paragraphs. Okay, when you write in paragraphs, it's very easy for a person to read through it correctly and to read every line. Like I told you, people don't like to read a lot of long messages, and some people hate reading. Trust me, I know some people who just hate reading. For those kind of people, and of course for everybody, your message, if you want your email to look good, always write in paragraphs so that it's understood clearly. Okay. The next point says avoid bulky attachments. I would suggest that you keep an attachment maybe to a 2 MB or a 3 MB. Usually what happens is when you send bulky emails, I mean bulky attachments on your emails or along with your emails, there are many chances of them to go into spam, or say it eventually goes into a junk, and you don't even realize that your reader has not received that email, which of course is very bad. Or instead, what you could do is you could always paste a link which helps them to download that attachment and read it for themselves, which by that way you know that your email has reached the person, one, and the attachments have also been read. So try and avoid bulky attachments. The next one is very important as a professional. It says, be kind, don't flame. Let's say you're writing an email and you're not in a good mood, okay? You're already fuming, and it's a very important mail that you have to reply to. So if you feel that you're not in a good mood, or you're not in the right frame of mind, just go and grab a coffee for yourself, relax, soothe yourself, and then sit and write. And still, if you feel that you cannot write it right now, either call the person you want to write the email to, or take your time, tell the person you'll reply as soon as possible, and do it after some time. Because you really you won't be impressed by yourself if you write to somebody rudely and then face the person the next moment, right? As a professional, you don't want to do that. So be kind and don't flame. The next point says formal versus informal emails. Okay, let's see. I'm sure you can relate to this. Please read my message and, or not even this, and reply. You think as a professional or a person at work, I should be using this language? No. Linguistic shortcuts, which we use these days, are good for text messages or when you're casually writing to your friends, but not in an email. Okay, you need to first decide whether you need to write a formal email or an informal email. It's just like sharing a cold pizza with maybe your friend or a close or a family member for that matter. Would you do that on your first date or when you're with a dignitary? No, you will just not love to do that, because it clearly shows that you were just not ready for that meeting, or you were just not ready for that, right? So always decide whether your reader wants a formal or an informal approach, okay? So it's very important you distinguish between formal and informal emails and the way you are going to write it. Please don't use linguistic shortcuts. It is just very offensive at times. Yeah. And the last point here says proofreading. When I say proofreading, what does it mean? Yes, it simply means read through your email once again. If you are writing to your superior or somebody at a higher position in the company, always ensure that you have read through your email. Yes, we are lucky that we have something called a spell check. However, it's going to only find out or pick up some typo errors, okay? But it's you who can do justice to the way you have written. Go through the entire email word by word if it's that important to you and the person who is reading it is important, and then analyze whether or check if you have made a mistake somewhere or no. Also, if you think it's that important, if you're not satisfied with what you have read or the way you've written it, get a colleague to go through it and see if there are any mistakes. Because remember, as a professional, whatever you write is either in favor of you, okay, or against you, because it's all on record. Okay, so you don't want to goof up or you don't want to make a mistake there. Okay, so friends, we've seen 6 tips to write an effective email. I'm sure these tips are going to help you because you and I write so many emails every day. We receive so many emails every day and we read through so many of them every day. So these points are definitely going to help you. So use them constructively in your email writing and I'm sure it will help you. Okay, so that's all from me for now. Keep watching, keep learning. I'll be back with a new lesson next time. Till then, thank you and take care.